Alright, I have my spinning equipment here, which is just a dip bowl from my kitchen and a medieval style drop spindle. Any spindle will do. I like this one because it has a nice narrow point at the top, which makes it flick really well, spins really well. I have a 17-gram whirl on this, which is the heaviest one I have for the spindle. Because I'm not going to actually drop this spindle, so the weight isn't going to be an issue. It's just going to help it spin better. So the advantages of using the spindle in this hybrid half-supported, half-drop fashion is that it's going to free up my second hand for drafting. I don't have to hold on to the top of the spindle like I would if I was doing it true supported. But yet, when it gets to the end of the spin, let's slow it down there artificially, it's not going to unwind all the way. I've still got an awful lot of excess twist in this leader here, whereas if I hold it up in a full drop spindle fashion, it's going to unwind. Go ahead and put it in the cup and it stops spinning. Pick it up and it's reversing again. It spins right off of my spindle. I am going to load that up supported because it's going to weaken the fiber to have unwound it that much. Also, if your knot ever slips, your spindle is half supported, so it's going to roll and fall into your lap instead of ending up on the carpet. So you don't break it, you don't get dog hair all over it. It's all around much nicer in my opinion. Alright, so I've started with my spindle having a leader this time. I'm going to go ahead and take my distaff and just pull off the stuff we were working on earlier. I'm a bit of a perfectionist when doing my initial graft, so yeah, I don't know why you guys want me to do an instructional video. Here I am fumbling with the basics here. Throw a half hitch in the top there and that'll make that part easier. Okay, so about half a staple length back from the end, we're going to grab a little bit of fiber from our distaff into the pinch, load a whole lot, add twist to our leader, untwist the draft triangle, draft it out, and then let the twist in. Leave enough to spiral up. Throw a half hitch, load the spin, untwist, draft it out. Untwist, draft it out. To get about the right amount, hold the leader at 45 degrees to your spindle, and when the two tops are even, then you've got about the right amount of leader to spiral up. Throw in my half hitch, spin, untwist, draft, spin, untwist, draft. While I'm loading excess twist, I'm holding my pinch pretty well, but after I draft, I don't have to hold that pinch so securely. Because I'm just gonna untwist that later. So it's fine. Untwist, draft. Now, with the distaff, you may find a tendency for your wool to start separating at the bottom, that you're working up. Can you even see this on screen? Yeah. You're working up your draft triangle, and if you don't do anything, you're going to end up pulling all of this wool out and have another tongue over here. So on a pretty regular basis, you need to move your draft triangle around the spindle and pick up any stray long fibers. If they're really stubborn, you grab those stray fibers and you pinch them to your draft triangle, and then you'll start drafting from both sides of the distaff again. So this looks like a pretty insecure cobweb, but it will hold. You put a little excess twist in it, and when you're ready to set this down, you just go ahead and stick your spindle right in the distaff ribbon, and you're all set to go for next time. So there's a old collection of sayings that amounts to a sculptor has a very easy job. His statue is already finished inside the block of wood, and he just needs to remove the parts of the statue, the parts of the block of wood that are not the statue. So I often think that way while I'm drafting my fiber, that the yarn I want is already in the distaff. I just have to pull it out and strengthen it with enough twisting. So you're always going to be balancing the two forces of draft and twist. You need enough twist to keep your fiber strong, but too much twist and it's difficult to draft. So that's why we're going to untwist the draft triangle and then twist our leader to get that strength. Untwist, draft. How thin is too thin? If you can't get it to hold together, it's too thin. The theoretical minimum is 4 to 7 strands of fiber. And last I checked, I have about 30 strands in this fiber. So let's go ahead and test today's fiber. This is a 1/2 inch gauge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 29, 30. I think we'll call that 30 wraps. 30 wraps per 1/2 inch would be 60 wraps per inch. Not quite my personal best. My personal best is 66 wraps per inch. But overall, not bad.